Hello book lovers, and welcome back or welcome to Nat Cat's Bookish Cafe. I am here to start the fourth and final December reading vlog. Alright guys, I hope that you had a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year. Today is the day of Christmas Eve. It is December 24th and I am here to start the vlog that will go through the end of December. If you have not watched the other 3 vlogs that have come out so far, I will go ahead and list those down below. I have been setting a different challenge for myself each week, and so far I have not done a good job accomplishing them, but I do feel like they have pushed me to read a lot more than I usually would have. So I would say it's kind of a success while also being a big fail. This week's challenge is going to be to read 1,000 pages throughout the week. And I believe that comes out to about 125 pages a day. I will say I've been tracking how much I've been reading each week during the other challenges, and during 2 of those weeks I did read over 900 pages. So it's not outside of the realm of possibility that I achieve this goal, especially since I seem to be getting a little bit more into audiobooks. But of course the audiobook that I'm reading right now is relatively short, and once I finish it I have nothing else lined up, so we will see how that goes. But as far as my reading is going, as I mentioned, I am working on an audiobook, and that is Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. I am, I believe, 26% through that at this point. I did listen to it a little bit today while I was cleaning my bathroom. This is a contemporary romance where we are on the set of one of those Hallmark super innocent Christmas movies, and the 2 main characters are being played by a ex-boy band member who had a bit of a sexual scandal about 6 years ago that he's never fully recovered from, and he's just trying to fix his image so that he can get some more jobs to support his family. It seems like he has a young sister who's still in high school and a mother who is suffering from bipolar disorder. On the other hand, we have our female main character. I have to admit at this point, I don't remember either of their names. I think she's going by B right now, and she is actually a plus-sized porn star. And it seems like the person who owns her porn company is trying to get into the more innocent industry, but a lot of the people that he had hired for this job ended up getting in an accident, and so he had to bring people over from his other company. But he's like, no one can know that you guys work at a porn company, because otherwise it's over for me if they know that I'm the owner of a porn company. And I think that just adds a lot to the story, because there's like a few workers here and there who usually work on the set of porn videos. So when they're talking about the lighting, they're like, yeah, don't worry, we'll light up the tits well. And the other people are like, I mean, I guess that's one way to say it. And it just adds a lot of humor to the story. But our female main character is wanting to get into like serious acting, because she understands that no matter how good you are at your job, usually there is a expiration date for someone within the sex worker industry. She has had a crush on this boy band member for many years, and she's really hoping that he doesn't treat her badly for being a plus size person. But what she doesn't know is that he actually subscribes to her channel and is a huge fan of her work. So of course when she shows up, he's completely flustered and is trying to keep his cool when this gorgeous woman who he is very attracted to is right there in front of them, and they have a few kiss scenes that they have to do. So far I am really enjoying this story. It's really sweet, it's really fun. I think it's a really great concept. I have read Sierra Simone before. I read her book Saint earlier this year, so I know I really like her writing. Julie Murphy, sorry, I have not read before, but I foresee myself possibly checking out some of her work just because I am really enjoying this story so far. As far as my physical book, I am reading The Ghost Bride by Yangzi Chu, and I am 76 pages through this at this point. I haven't picked it up again today, but hopefully I have some time to get a decent amount of reading done today. This is a book set in historical China. I want to say that it says Malaya, and the way that they talk about it seems like they are part of China, currently under the British rule, but also separate from China. And I get the feeling that maybe they are an island on the coast of China, but I have to admit, I'm not 100% sure. But we are following Lilan, and she is the only daughter of a man whose finances are steadily going downhill. After the death of his wife, he has really put no effort into making money and keeping the family's finances stable, and so they have kind of reached a point where desperate measures are necessary. The wealthiest family in their town has reached out to ask if Lilan would marry their son who died 9 months ago. So far at this point in the book, the family has not agreed to do this. In fact, they are very reluctant to have her marry someone who is dead. However, she has gone to the Lim family household a couple times, and unfortunately for her, she handed the mother of the dead son her ribbon, which is now allowing this dead son to visit her in her dreams, or rather to pull her into the ghost realm while she is sleeping. Alongside all of this happening, she has also developed a crush on the now heir of this family. He was initially the nephew of the head of the household, but since all the other sons of the household have passed, he will inherit the family fortune. And it seems like this man reciprocates her feelings, but because her family is very poor and he is very wealthy and will be very powerful, his family is resisting a union between the two of them. So far, the story is a lot more romantic than I thought it would be, but I am enjoying it quite a lot. I really enjoy the writing. I feel like this is a rather slow-paced story, and sometimes I feel like we get a lot of details that aren't necessary, but I also just feel like that adds to the ambiance and the atmosphere of the story overall. So I am having a relatively good time with it. I will say so far it's not what I expected, but at the same time, I didn't really know exactly what to expect going into the story. It does sound like she goes into the ghost realm at some point. It says, as she reluctantly considers the offer, Lilan is unwillingly drawn into the shadowy parallel world of the Chinese afterlife, which is currently happening when she falls asleep, with its ghost cities and vengeful spirits. So far, she has not entered any ghost cities or come across any vengeful spirits. So I'm assuming that things are going to escalate gradually throughout this story. So those are the books I'm currently reading. I think I will hopefully get the chance to FaceTime with my mom and sister who are over in Germany right now sometime today, if not soon. I do want to finish editing up the video for last week's vlog so that I can upload that later today. I don't know if we have really any plans this week. We're not really celebrating Christmas that much since our family is kind of split in two this year, unfortunately. But I will go ahead and just keep reading and keep checking up on you and trying to read at least 125 pages a day.
on pushing anyways. I don't know where I'm going. Today's one big commotion. I'm being carried by the wake. So hold me like an ocean. I need your soothing motion. Please help me take the pain away. Yeah. No way to change our yesterday. No way to change our yesterday. Stayed in but felt so far away. Last night was one big.
Merry Christmas, guys. It is the afternoon on Christmas Day, and I just wanted to do a really quick check-in. My eggs are boiling. I'm gonna make some deviled eggs for me and my dad to eat throughout the day. Today is definitely gonna be like one of those days where you just eat little things all throughout the day. But we just finished watching Love Actually, which is not my favorite movie for sure. I know my dad really likes it. I certainly like parts of it, but there's so much fat phobia in that movie. And my dad was like, oh wow, they're like really against fat people in this movie. And I was like, yeah. But that is over. I think there's like 3 movies that I would like to see today. The Santa Claus movie, the first one, and then I really like Home Alone, the first one, and then The Last Holiday is one of my favorites with Queen Latifah in it. That is a great movie, so hopefully we get to all 3 of those today, and we just eat deviled eggs, and I made some buffalo chicken dip as well that I just need to throw in the oven and heat up. And then we have lots of cheese for a charcuterie board. But as far as my reading yesterday, I did not reach 125 pages. I think I read, let me look, 113. So I read 113 pages yesterday. I read 46 pages of The Ghost Bride. And then today I've only read like 26 pages so far. I was reading a little bit while my dad was talking to a friend of his, and I feel like I don't have too much more to say. I will say that she has now officially entered the spirit realm, so you could very much say things have gone downhill, but she is on a mission to reconnect with her body. And this is one of those books where I could understand why people didn't like it to a degree. It seems very slow paced, but at the same time, I feel like I'm just really immersed in the story and really invested in the details that the author is providing us. But I also feel like if you wanted a fast-paced story, then this would not be the story for you. I'm just really enjoying the writing, and I'm just really intrigued by the journey that our character is going on. Her interactions with the possible love interest are a bit strange, and I don't really know what to think of him. Sometimes I'm a bit suspicious of him. Other times I feel like he's a good guy. Sometimes I feel like he might not 100% be good. So I'm not really sure how I want to feel about him or how I should feel about him at this point. There seems like there is potentially someone else lurking in the shadows, and I'm wondering when that person will make an appearance. But overall, I am enjoying this story. I don't know how much reading I will be doing today since it's Christmas, and we'll probably be watching Christmas movies and just like hanging out all day. But as far as my audiobook goes, I read a total of 67 pages, which I think equated to like another 16% of the book. I think I'm on like 38%, and I'm still having a great time. I think it's super sexy. I think it's super fun. I'm enjoying the writing. I'm enjoying the characters. I think it's a great Christmas romance. Not that it really has anything to do with Christmas in general. I mean, I would say that they are taking part in a Christmas movie, but it's just like go, 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 go. Like these Christmas movies need to be done in a few days and they're filmed all out of order and everything is just very hectic. So it's not like a cozy Christmas movie vibe or anything like that. But I'm still having a wonderful time with that. Again, I don't think I will really have the opportunity to listen to it today, but once I'm back at work tomorrow, I'm sure that I will pick it up a little. But that is just my update. That's probably the only update I will do today since, like I said, I won't be doing much reading and we'll just be chilling around. So I will probably see you tomorrow. We're doing a fit check. These shoes, which are gonna make my feet hurt. And then we got a skirt and we got the sweater tucked in with the belt. And then we got the earrings. We got the little wooden kitties and we got the mushrooms. So it's a vibe. All right, guys, so I'm about to head out. Where are my AirPods? There they are. And I am going to Barnes & Noble for their hardback sale. Now, I know I keep saying, or I might have said at some point, that I am on a book buying ban until January, but the main reason I do that is because my birthday and Christmas list are the same, because my birthday is at the end of November, so no sense in making two different lists or anything. And I was always worried that people would buy the books that I'm obviously most excited for off of that list, and so if I went off and bought them, they would be all like, oh, but I bought that for you. The thing is, I usually don't buy hardbacks because they're expensive, and so a lot of the books on my list are older kind of books, and so I'm hoping that if I go here, I will find some more new releases that I'm excited for that are not on the list. While I'm out there, I might stop by Trader Joe's, and I'll probably stop by Ulta because I need a new brow brush. Not that I ever had a brow brush or a brow pencil or whatever. I was just using brown eyeliner. Same thing, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that is the plan for now. I only read like 1 or 2 chapters this morning. Our girly is very much in the spirit realm, and she just met an ancestor of hers who was a B word. I was like, okay. So I'm still enjoying it for sure. There have been some interesting developments, and I continue to enjoy the writing of the story. But other than that, I really don't have too much to say on it. I'm hoping to do a bit more reading today. I just filmed my most disappointing books of 2023. I will say that my most disappointing books aren't like overly disappointed. I just had certain expectations for them that were not met, and none of them were like terrible or anything. Well, one of them was kind of bad, but other than that, I think once I get back, I may film all the books I DNF'd this year because I wanted to make a separate video for that, but I just didn't want to waste this cute outfit on that video. So that is probably the plan today. I don't know if I'll do any editing. I really should start editing my Friday video, but I want to make sure that I do get some reading in, because if I look at my notes over here, I read 66 pages yesterday. So I mean, I knew I wasn't gonna read a lot, and I didn't. That's totally fine. It was Christmas. We watched all the movies that we wanted to. I ate too many cinnamon rolls. I read 3. I ate 3 cinnamon rolls. So That's two too many, personally. Well, actually, it's only one too many. But still, it was a fun day, a relaxing day. I ended up taking today off because I was feeling productive. I felt like I wanted to go out and do things, and I saw that there was a sale today, and I was like, I want to go to that on the first day before, like, you know, their inventory starts to get low or anything like that. So that is what we're doing, and I just wanted to update you real quick. I'm wondering if it might be kind of crowded, so I don't know how much b-roll we'll get, but we're gonna have fun. I have a book haul. I may or may not have bought 7 books, which is more than I wanted to. I hope I don't sound too weird. I have Tic Tacs in my mouth because I just ate salad and I really like onions, so there's a lot of onions in that salad. My breath is a little oniony right now. Anyway, so I have all these books, and then I'm gonna go ahead and haul here in this vlog. I will probably do a separate vlog, or not a separate vlog, a separate haul at some point, but I'm assuming that's not gonna be until like end of January or sometime in February. So I'm sure by then you will forget all about these books and be more than happy to watch that again. But as you may or may not have known, or as I may or may not have mentioned, Barnes & Noble had their 30% off hardback sales. So 5 of these are hardbacks and 2 of them are just books that I needed to buy that are not on my Christmas list. So I'm gonna go through those. I will say that the total came to like $111, but I had a $30 gift card. And because I'm a member, because I spend over $50, I get $20 in rewards. So worth it. The other crazy thing is, I think that like none of these books are by white authors except for one, which is an anthology. So it's probably like a bunch of authors, and some of them are probably white. All right, so the first one I picked up is Volume 8 of Heaven's Official Blessing by Mo Xiong Tong Shui, and this is the last book in the series. It came out in, I think, December, and the 7th one is on my wish list, so I only picked up the 8th one. If I get gifted that, wonderful, and if not, I will just pick up a book 7 as soon as possible. But I am just so excited to get to the last book in the series. Will it destroy my soul? Maybe. We'll see. I really have no idea if this has a happy ending or not. I'm genuinely scared. The next book is a one that made an appearance in my 10 challenging books video, which are 10 books that I will be challenging myself to read throughout 2024. I will actually February through November be plucking a title out of a little jar with those titles in it, and one of them is so long that I was like, I'm not gonna get this one from the library, I'm gonna buy it because it's gonna probably take me, like, no joke, 2 to 3 months to read, and that is Don Quixote by Cervantes. I mean, look at these are like Bible pages, I believe is what they call them, and they're so thin. But yes, this book is, it looks like this version is actually under 1,000 pages, where it's like 980 something pages, so not too bad. But these words are relatively small. But this is just one of those classics that I have been interested in, and so I'm going to challenge myself to pick it up, because I don't think I will ever pick it up of my own free will because it's just so chunky. All right, so starting with the anthology that I was talking about, we have Being Ace, and this is edited by Madeline Dyer, and this seems to be a YA anthology just written by a bunch of different authors, all about ace characters, and it says an anthology of queer, trans, femme, and disabled stories of asexual love and connection. I have seen some people give praise for this book, and so I decided to go ahead and check it out. I do enjoy seeing asexual representation in my books, since I myself do identify as someone on the ace spectrum. Up next, we have another collection of short stories, but these are horror stories, and that is Out There Screaming, edited by Jordan Pelly, and this is one I've seen pop up on YouTube a couple times now and have heard only really positive things for. When it comes to short stories, horror is the genre that I am drawn to the most, so I am optimistic that I will enjoy this. I also really enjoy black horror, and this is just a bunch of black horror stories by obviously black authors. The next 3 books are actually all by Hispanic authors. I said that I wanted to read more books by Hispanic authors this year in my goals video, and I mean, I wasn't really going in there with the intention of buying all these Hispanic books, but it just kind of happened. The first one is Ander and Santi Were Here. This is a YA story that I've heard really good things about. And this is a YA queer story between an American boy and a Mexican boy who I believe is not legally here in the States, and it follows their romance after ICE comes for this young boy. So this cover is absolutely stunning. I will go ahead and get rid of that sticker, obviously, but I am super excited to get to this, and this is by Johnny Garza Villa. Next is another YA story. This one I believe is a fantasy, and that is the Sunbearer Trials. I believe the second book in this series is coming out later this year, so I will probably wait a few months before I dive into this, but I have read The Cemetery Boys by this author and absolutely loved it. I believe that this has either trials or competitions going on with it, and has something to do with possible sacrifices to the sun god of sorts. So I am super excited to check this out. Plus this cover is all shiny. And the last book on this list I've been seeing a lot about because I think it was one of the nominations for the Goodreads Awards, which I don't put much stock in, but it does seem like quite a few people really enjoyed this book, and that is Monstrillo by Gerardo Samano Cordova. And I believe that this is kind of a horror story, but one that explores grief a lot. I believe a mother loses her son and she like cuts out a piece of his lung and it grows into this monster that they try to make it very human, but it's still a monster of sorts. So I'm not really sure what to expect, but I have heard really good things about it, and like I said, I wanted to read more Hispanic authors, and I'm looking to get a bit more into horror, and I always love discussions on grief as well. All right, so here are all my brand new books. I am super excited to hopefully get up to all of these in 2024.
Horror Store and My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I really enjoyed both of them. I haven't read, what's the one that I own? The Southern Booklovers.
Hey guys, so it is Tuesday evening. Real quick check-in. I am on page 274 and I've just gotten to part 4 of the story, which I'm assuming is the last part of the story. And while I think I might have said that it was going a little slowly, it has definitely picked up, and what was happening in this last part was giving major like Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle vibes. So I was having a really great time with it. There's some other things that I want to say, but I feel like they might be a kind of spoilery, so I'm not going to say anything about that, but I am enjoying a certain character very much, and hopefully they are okay, because right now they're not okay at all. But yes, the story is definitely picking up. Had a little bit of a rough patch there, not like a rough patch, but more just the pacing got a little too slow for my liking, but we are enjoying the story a lot more. I have about 90 pages left of this book. I'm obviously not going to finish it tonight or anything. I think it is probably around 8 o'clock or 8:30. I have no idea what time it is. I haven't checked the clock for a while. But I will go ahead and try and get as much reading done as I can. And I probably will go ahead and check in with you tomorrow to let you know officially how many pages I did read, because I did listen to my audiobook a little bit today while I was making and eating lunch. So I think I read maybe like 2 chapters of that. I don't have too much more to say on it other than it'd be sexy. It'd be a sexy time. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm having a lot of fun with this book as well. So good times all around.
Things that I usually don't. Find my way through the hotel lobby. Make the same when I'm on my own. All my friends think I'm with somebody, doing things that I usually don't. Find my way through the hotel lobby. Make the same when I'm on.
Guys, so it is a Wednesday afternoon. My lunch break is coming to an end. I'm here with Loki, so I can't hold up my book because my arm is trapped under him right now. But I did just finish The Ghost Bride. Oh, that ending, it had me like tearing up. I'm like, why am I about to cry right now? I'm feeling all emotional, but like in a good way, not in a sad way, in a bittersweet kind of way. I tend to really enjoy a bittersweet ending, so I really am satisfied with the way that this story ended. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4.5 stars. I can't give it a full 5 stars just because it had a couple of pacing issues here and there where things were a little bit slow, but overall I just thought it was super enchanting, very romantic, beautifully written, very unique. As I said, definitely some Studio Ghibli vibes going on throughout the story. And I will definitely be checking out more work by this author. I recently watched someone's most anticipated books of 2024 videos, and I believe a book by this author was mentioned. So I will definitely be seeing about checking that out and seeing if she has any backlog for me to check out. But overall, I had a wonderful time. I really did. I really think that this is a beautiful story and definitely worth checking out. That being said, the next book I will be checking out is Upgrade by Blake Crouch. Today is the 26th. Just kidding, it's the 27th. But we will see if I can go ahead and finish that before the end of the year. I will probably check in with you with my initial thoughts and a synopsis. I honestly haven't read the synopsis of this book, so I have like no idea what it is about. And obviously I will have the book with me next time and all that jazz. I haven't worked on my audiobook yet so far. I wasn't working any workloads at work where I felt comfortable listening to my audiobook, but I may go ahead and transition over to that workload at least for an hour or two today, and I will see about making some more progress on that. Hi, baby. What are you doing? Anyway, that is my update for now, and I will go ahead and check in with you later.
Uptown, on the road, I've been around before. Rooftops, sliding doors, just wanna know you more. I hope you wanna be with somebody, spending all of the night moonwalking, and with the view she could see her building. Try to tell her I know I feel it. Keep me floating when I'm on my back. Slow me down when I'm living fast.
so it is Thursday at noon. I just got off work for the day. As I think I mentioned in a previous update, I took half the day off today so that I can go ahead and do some cleaning around the house. I'm not going to do anything like super crazy because I know my mom would get mad at me because she kept telling me, she's like, just because I'm gone doesn't mean that you suddenly have to do the work of like 2 people. And I've been trying not to, but obviously I want her to come home to a clean house. Luckily the house isn't like super messy. Me and my dad aren't pigs or anything like that. But I definitely want to do some dusting and cleaning off some surfaces and vacuuming and mopping the floors because she's usually the one who mops the floors. I often vacuum, but mopping isn't something I usually do. So we will see how I do that. I think I only did it once and I used the wrong cleaner. I used like an all-purpose cleaner, so it wasn't like anything that damaged the floors, but it was still the wrong cleaner. So oops, I will try to use a right cleaner this time. I know I would really like to clean my desk. I've been wanting to do that for a while. So that's probably one of the first things that I will do. I will kind of clean all the surfaces so that when I vacuum, if I knock anything on the floor while cleaning off the surfaces, it'll be vacuumed up. And then I will do some dusting, and Loki is here. But that is a plan for today. And I would also love it if I were able to go to the gym as well, and I need to think about dinner as well, which I should do before I leave the house in case I need to do some grocery shopping. Yesterday I just did burgers with some sweet potato fries and it was very good because I made like caramelized onions and stuff, so delish. As far as reading goes, I kind of forgot yesterday to track what I read, so I went mostly off memory, which was hopefully correct. I think I read 66 pages of The Ghost Bride to finish up that book, which I already talked about, and I ended up reading, I think, another 22%, just like the day before of my audiobook. Don't really have too much to say on it. I'm just having a good time. I'm having a great time, but I really just don't have much to say on this book, and that's the Merry Little Meet Cute. I'm hoping to listen to that while I do some chores today, so maybe I can finish it up. I think I have a little bit over 3 hours left, but I do listen to it on 2x speed. So it looks like I read another 92 pages of that, which came to a total of 158 pages yesterday, which brings my total to 529 pages. So not too shabby. As far as my next read, as I mentioned, I am reading Upgrade by Blake Crouch. I just read the first chapter of that this morning, so just 22 pages so far. But this seems to be following a character his mother had created or had a breakthrough when it came to gene mutations of some sort. And I think at first this was seen as a wonderful thing because it can be used for like cancer treatments and all sorts of scientific advancements and whatnot. But it has been hinted at that it has actually caused a lot of destruction and something known as the starvation, and there is still a pretty big food crisis occurring in the world, and things are just not looking really good. Climate change is pretty strong. It's going strong. The environment is not doing well. A lot of people are out of work because they're being replaced by like AI or other automated systems. And this character, as kind of penance for what his mother has done, has joined a newer organization of the government that was created in response to this that goes around to gene labs. And these are labs that are still working with genes, which is illegal, and they arrest these people. And sometimes that's a good thing because apparently this new invention has made it very easy to kind of mutate genes to cause like massive virus outbreaks and whatnot, but obviously it has also stopped the development of any sort of like cancer research and things like that. So he's a bit conflicted about what he's doing, But at the end of the day, it seems like he thinks it's very important that they are making sure that people are not using these genes to, you know, create terrorist attacks or to replace, you know, mass shootings at schools or anything, to take care of their bullies and whatnot. In the first 22 pages, they have gone ahead and they have captured a man who is very well known for distributing very strong forms of gene mutations. And I don't know if gene mutations is the correct word. This is above my pay grade, guys. Pretty much she intercepted this man at the airport on his way to Tokyo, and they brought him in and they were like, hey, you know what? If you tell us who you delivered your last package to, what illegal lab you know, were working with, we will not turn you over to China. Because obviously if he gets turned over to China, he's screwed. They're probably gonna torture him for information, kill him, make him disappear, kind of stuff. So he does tell them, and they go to this address that he provides, and when they get there doesn't really seem to be a lab, and they're like, well, this is kind of suspicious. But there's a camera recording them, and there is like these orbs where it's very clear that there's some sort of edited gene in there, and those explode. And our character has been caught in the blast, which I'm assuming is what leads to the changes that occur to him, as listed in the synopsis. So I'm really interested to see how he changes this story. Per the synopsis, seems to have a lot to do with human evolution. At what point are you no longer considered human? What is the limit of what can be considered human? And we just watch this guy as he gets changed by something, and he seems to be the first step of some sort of organization that wants to bring a mass change to the world. Is this bad? Is this good? I don't know, but it's probably going to be a fast pace, and I'm super excited to continue on with it. Probably won't be doing too much reading for the next few hours as I do my cleaning and my gym, but I will check in with you again when I've done a bit more reading. New angle unlocked. I'm just trying to find somewhere in this room where the lighting isn't terrible, and that place just doesn't exist. So here we are. I just got back from the gym, showered, and am gonna cook dinner in a moment. But while I was at the gym, I did end up finishing my audiobook, A Merry Little Christmas. And I gotta give it 5 stars. I really do. I had so much fun with this story. Very sex positive. I thought that the smut was really good. I thought that the romance was really sweet and sexy, and that our characters had a good communication throughout the story. I really enjoyed the characters as a whole, enjoyed their personalities, enjoyed the personalities outside of the relationship, enjoyed the side characters as well. I really liked that B was really positive about her sex work. And I also liked that at no point did Nolan ask her to stop having her career in pornography, because he had heard her on multiple occasions talking about how much she enjoyed her job and just what her job brought her. And I just felt like it showed a lot of security in himself by him not being like, I need you to quit this job kind of situation. I think that the characters had really a great dialogue. It really balanced sexiness, humor, and seriousness throughout the entire story. And just all in all, I had a really fun time. Is this going to be one of my top books? Is it pushing another book out? I don't think so, but I am definitely super glad that I got another 5-star before the year ended, because I don't think I've had any 5 stars in December, but this was just all in all a really great book, and I highly recommend it, and I'm looking forward to continuing the series. Not that that will happen until next Christmas probably, but Sierra Simone has definitely solidified her as an author that I am excited to continue reading. And Julie Murphy is not one that I've read before, but I have since looked up her books, and I know for a fact that I've heard relatively good things about a few of them, so I will definitely be checking out some of her work as well. But I just wanted to update that real quick, let you know the good news that I got a 5-star read. I haven't done any other reading for my upgrade book, and I probably won't do too much because I will be cooking, and I might try and spend some time with my dad. I always feel bad that I like eat and run to my room to either do editing or reading, so it would be nice if I could sit down, maybe watch some TV with him or something like that. But I will go ahead and check in with you tomorrow. So it is around 4 o'clock on Friday, and I have finished part 1 of Upgrade. So I am, I think, just a little bit under the 50% mark. I have kind of put off doing any sort of updates on this beyond my initial update because I don't want to tell you anything about this book, and I don't want to, really give you any spoilers or really give you an idea of what's going on, because I think that adds a lot to the story. And so I'm like, what can I even say about this book? I will say that this book is, I feel kind of weird about it, because I feel like on the one hand, it's incredibly intense and the stakes are very high, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of slow paced and maybe, dare I say, a little boring. I am definitely not enjoying this as much as his other books, but it is definitely an interesting concept for sure. And I have a feeling that things are definitely going to speed up maybe now that we are getting in the second half of the book. As far as I can tell, there's going to be a pretty big change occurring that's going to affect humanity as a whole. So that is going to be pretty exciting to experience. I'm interested to see what the author does with that and what our character does with it, because he seems to be against this change and it seems like someone else is pushing it forward despite his wishes. So far I would say that it's sitting at like a 3-star, which is kind of a bland rating, but I do see the potential for it to get better. I feel like the author is really like skating on the surface of what it means to be human, what it is to have empathy, to have emotions, and not just to base one's decisions off of, what is rational, and not just base your decisions off science and math, because while science and math are incredibly important in decision making, we also need to remember that everything we do has an impact on humans, and so we also have to include emotions and feelings into our decision making, and I would really like it if he dived a little bit more into that. It's really just been like a surface level conversation. Who knows, in the second half of the book it may be discussed more, but for now I am getting a little bit lost in the jargon. There is a lot of shop talk in this book. I am not a biology, chemistry, whatever girly, and there are so many words and acronyms that are being thrown at me, especially like types of genes, I'm assuming they are, and like just talking about this gene affects your probability of getting Alzheimer's, or this one affects your bone density, or this one affects your white blood cells, or this one affects your tolerance for pain. And it's just like names all of those, and I'm just like, okay. And I mean, I feel like it's an important part of the story, but your average reader, that doesn't mean anything to them. So I think on the one hand, he is definitely trying to prove how intelligent our character is becoming with these genetic changes that he's experiencing per the synopsis. Not a spoiler. But at the same time, I feel like he alienates his audience a little bit by using all this smart language, and I feel like he needs to follow the path of Andy Weir, work a little harder on making his sci-fi shop talk a little bit more digestible to your everyday citizen who, like me, was struggling through their college intro science classes. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep chugging through this book. I am really excited to see what happens in part 2. Seeing as I really don't want to give you any spoilers or anything like that, I will probably not check in with you again until I finish it, which will hopefully be before the end of the year. Hey guys, so I am here to wrap up this vlog. So it is only Saturday. I know this is supposed to go through the end of the year on the 31st, but I have finished Upgrade, my last book of the year. And in honor of it being the last book of 2023, I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Yep, we are finishing the year off with a mid book, but that's okay. You know, on the bright side, I read 111 pages today, and you guys are not gonna believe how many pages I have read in total. 1,000. Not 999, not 1,001, 1,000 pages exactly. So this might be a 3-star. It may encompass my entire reading year with, you know, a lot of mid books, to be honest, but I achieved my goal of reading exactly 1,000 pages, and that makes me feel really good. So I'm not planning on doing any more reading this year. It's gonna be a little weird. I'm probably gonna be like, what am I gonna do with all this free time now? But I'm just gonna relax, maybe do some editing. Me and my dad are gonna head out in less than an hour to pick up my mom from the airport, and we're just gonna hang out, be a family, and finish off 2023 together. I'm feeling pretty good, to be honest. And then, you know what? We're gonna start off strong 2024 with Squash That series. We're gonna go hard, and we're gonna see if we can make some progress in those, 38 series that I'm currently in the middle of. But let's talk a little bit about Upgrade. So obviously, as I mentioned in my previous update, it's really hard for me to talk about this book. One thing I will say about Blake Crouch, while his writing is a little bit confusing because he uses so much scientific jargon, it is believable. And I think that's one thing you have to keep in mind when you're writing a sci-fi. It needs to be somehow rooted in reality. Everything that's happening has to be plausible. You can't be like, that's impossible. This isn't a fantasy. There's no magic here. This is a sci-fi, and I do think me and my tiny, not science-oriented brain believed that what happened in this book could potentially happen if we got that far when it came to gene mutations and alterations. The problem with this book is that I just never felt the excitement and intensity and the emotions that I had previously felt in Blake Crouch's books. Now, while my brain fully understood that there should be a sense of intensity, a sense of impending doom, I was just never able to actually feel those emotions for some reason. I don't know if I never got fully attached to the character or if I just wasn't invested in the plot. I do think it had some pacing issues. For me personally, it was just a bit slow. One thing I always say about Blake Crouch's books is that they're very fast paced, and I just felt like that wasn't the case for this book. I have already filmed my most disappointing books of the year video, but if I hadn't, this probably would have squeezed on there. So unfortunately, did not have a great time with this. I do think it was trying to have some very important conversations about like what made us human, what will save humanity. Is it intelligence? Is it military strength? Is it physical strength? Is it compassion? Is it a sense of loyalty to a family, of protectiveness over our children and future generations? What is it that is going to save mankind? And obviously, everyone has differing opinions on what the correct answer is and what happens when the key or the solution falls into which group's hand kind of situation. So, I mean, definitely interesting concept, just presented in what I felt was a bit of a bland manner. Maybe this story was just too focused on this individual, and that I felt like this concept would have been more interesting if we could see it on a larger scope rather than just following this one individual and their experience with this. I don't know. But overall, I would say, as far as the other books I've read by Blake Crouch, this is definitely one of his weaker ones, but I will probably continue to check out his work. There's few authors where you will love everything that they put out, and that is totally fine. All right, so if I have it correct, we finished 3 books in this vlog. We read these 2 physical books, Upgrade by Blake Crouch and The Ghost Bride by Yang Zi Chu. This one I gave 3 stars. This one I gave 4.5 stars. And then I also went ahead and read Merry Little Meet Cute, and I actually gave that one 5 stars. So I would say overall this vlog was very successful. We had a 4.5, a 5-star, a mid book, but we did achieve our 1,000-page goal. I think this month's challenges went relatively well. If you take a look at my bingo board, I almost got a blackout. The only reason I didn't get a blackout is because of that one audiobook, and last time I checked, that audiobook is still about 7 weeks out. So I really made a mistake with choosing that. I probably could have gotten a blackout if I had chosen any other audiobook that was actually available to me, but it is what it is. These challenges really pushed me to read a lot, and I'm actually really proud of myself. So I may do something like this again, probably not for a few months just because it is kind of stressful, or maybe I will do these, know, more interspersed rather than doing it week after week after week like I did here in December. I know this vlog is coming out after the new year, but for me, the new year is still on the horizon, and I just want to say thank you for spending 2023 with me, or even if you're new here, thank you for, you know, wanting to join me in 2024. I'm so happy to be here, so happy to have you guys here with me. Truly am so blessed to have decided to start this journey and for you guys to join me on it. I've had so much fun. I think YouTube wise, this was a really great year, and hopefully 2024 is even better. All right, guys, I would love to know what your last book read in 2023 was. As always, thank you so much for supporting my channel by watching my videos, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!